All right, here we go. How's everybody doing? Anybody muted?
Am I?
No.
Y'all doing good? Okay, there we go. Y'all doing good? Okay, there we go. Awesome. All right, the only person is Gabe. All right, the only person is Gabe.
Hey.
Oh, there we go.
Winter looks muted and frozen, but I don't know.
There we go.
Winter looks muted and frozen, but I don't know.
You hear that?
Yeah.
You hear that?
Okay. I have no idea what is going on. All right. Well, I guess we'll start off and wait for everybody to join back in. Let me see. I can add Winter and Destiny back in.
Perfect.
There we go.
All right, guys. There we go. We're waiting for Gabe. I have no idea what's going on. He's having technical difficulties. But we can get started. Thank you all for coming on and joining us today. I'll go around and introduce everybody. First off, we'll start with Mia there. Thank you, Mia, for stopping on. I'm excited to talk about this with you guys. I haven't met Mia or Winter yet. We had Destiny on an episode to talk about horror reboots. So thank you, Destiny, for coming back on Flockbuster.
Of course.
Awesome. And then Winter, thank you.
Thank you for
Very excited to have you guys on. And we have Victoria here as well.
Queen.
Awesome. So at the end, I'll plug all your socials. You guys talk about where we can reach you. All those good things. And while we wait for Gabe, let me see if I can get him back in. And for I'm gonna remove him.
That's bad.
Until he figures out what he's doing. We have Good Real Hunting in the chat right now. Thank you, Brett. I know that's Brett, man. Loyal follower for sure. Okay, now we have Gabe. Not that other version.
I was unfriended.
What's up, Gabe? That was definitely unfriended vibes. Just that echoey thing that just kept going in the background.
Yeah.
He looks
confused.
I
don't know if he can hear us. He looks very confused.
Who looks confused?
You.
Oh, I am.
So I just got done introducing everybody, thanking them for coming on. Very excited. Hello from Tampa. What's up, man? So let's get down into it. First off, has anybody seen anything good lately? We could start off there. Has anybody seen any cool horror movies, non-horror?
I revisited Gacy House. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that. It's kind of like a really crappy found footage version of John Gacy, and kind of like his presence and his ghost coming back and kind of him in the house. It is quite a trifling film, but if you're under the influence, I highly recommend it.
Sounds wild.
If you're under the influence.
That is absolutely crazy. It's interesting. I actually live 30 minutes from his rebuilt home.
Yep.
Yes. So his rebuilt home obviously is completely different now, but if I'm correct, you can't even stand like on the property itself. Like you have to be like across the street to even photograph, if I'm correct. I've never seen it, but I do know within the families coming in have had quite some complaints of living there, which obviously with having multiple boys literally dead in the ground. So I would not want to live there. So
you got me fucked up.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Me
Hell
too.
no.
That sounds like a good movie to watch, but like all those like like The Haunting of Sharon Tate, I think. Or like there was like another one.
Yes,
like,
there was an Amityville one too, I think.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else see anything good lately?
I saw Summer of '84 recently for the first time. I'm really late, but
Ooh.
I don't know. The ending was depressing.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah.
It's very like unsatisfying. I was like, that's it.
It's good.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. The ending kind of like it is depressing. It kind of sends you on like, oh man, like this movie's very fun until it's not.
Yeah,
100%.
I watched The Grudge 2, the American one, the other day.
Yeah,
it's just kind of there.
Yeah.
They're here. I mean, the casting is good. The cast is good. They do a really good job, but I feel like it's just boring a little bit.
I don't even remember watching 2 or 3. All I remember is, did y'all ever watch what is it? My Babysitter's a Vampire?
Yes.
Oh, that movie's the best.
Oh my god.
That guy is in it. He like when he was younger, and I remember he dies in one of them because I was like, "Oh my god, that's that kid!" And then he died. I was like, "Fuck, dang it."
Were you guys a fan of the recent one? What was it, 2018? I think 2019.
I like Lin Shaye.
Yeah, that one.
That's about it. Like, I was like, after her scene, it's a wrap. I just thought it was like a mess. But I wish we got more of her role, even if it wasn't even in The Grudge. Like, seeing Lin Shaye on that level and Thor and everything, give it all to me, but not in that movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the movie kind of
She's
sucked.
creepy.
I thought it was bad. Okay, cool. Anybody else see anything? Gabe?
I watched Single White Female for the first time, which I liked it, but I was kind of disappointed because the way I've heard people talk about this movie, because I saw The Roommate a long time ago, probably when it first came out, not knowing this is pretty much like a fucking remake of Single White Female. So whenever I watched it and the way people talk about it, I was like, this movie's going to be fucking amazing. And I was just like, oh, it was good, but nowhere near the quality that I thought it would be, considering how well people talk about it.
Yeah.
It was okay, but something even more exciting, which I've already told the ladies about, I watched The Boys, and I loved it.
Oh, that show's great.
So
Jack
fucking
Quaid.
good. Jack Quaid, the main, okay, not the main reason, but this was already on my watch list, but I watched Scream 5, and I was like, a TV series with them, I'm all in. And I freaking loved it. I cannot wait till season 3. I feel like one of those bitches that like came onto it last, but now I'm like, you need to watch The Boys. You don't understand. People are like, we've been saying this for a couple years now. We know, Destiny, but I'm just
that was
like,
me with Hemlock
watch
Grove.
it. I watched like the first like 5 episodes, I think, and then I was just like, I can't do it anymore. But I watched it for Bill Skarsgård. The only good one. Maybe it was a good thing I stopped then.
All right, Gabe, what about you? Anything besides the movies we're watching for Friday?
No, so you guys are watching all these horror movies, and I'm watching Cheaper by the Dozen 1 and 2.
Well, Steve Martin, he counts. He's great.
Oh, he was. Those movies have so much heart.
Those movies are scary, man. You know, there's a point where they get beat up, or there's like this bully, and he's wearing like this backwards hat, and he tries to beat them up, but then he spills his latte. And then they play the song In Too Deep, so it's very 2000s. So,
you know, what's scary is having 12 kids.
Yeah, that's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, that's
all right. So, I think we should just jump right into it. Real quick, I'm gonna get everybody's thoughts on the movie, and I'm gonna go down the line. So I'm gonna start off with Mia. Just some quick thoughts before we jump into the spoilers.
I gave it, I think, 4.5 out of 5. I really liked it. I thought I was expecting less of like a brutal slasher than it was, but actually I really liked that part of it because it had some nice gore in it, which is always a plus for me. And sometimes I feel like they shy away from that in movies that are released in theaters, but we lost him again.
Who knows what he's doing?
But yeah, overall I thought it was really fun and exceeded my expectations.
Cool. Victoria?
I think I gave it a 4.5 at first, if I remember, and then I switched it to 5 out of 5 for me. For me, I didn't see a reason not to for what I thought of it. I think I'd only seen the trailer that you showed me like ages ago. I only saw whatever was playing before movies. I didn't watch any more of the trailers when they came out, and it wasn't I was avoiding, I just didn't. And I went, and I was so surprised by how good it was. I was like, damn, I really like, I mean, we're going to get more into it, but I really like the way they did it, which I'll talk about more, just the way it felt. And Brittany Snow. Who?
You almost said Brittany Murphy.
I did
almost
almost
said that,
Brittany
but that's really
Murphy.
fucked up. She's back from the dead. Okay, we'll go back to Gabe. Julian says, oof.
Stop.
We'll start with Destiny and then Winter.
Wait, what?
Your quick thoughts. Just quick thoughts.
I thought it was Gabe. I'm sorry.
No, we'll shoot back to Gabe.
Okay. I loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I can't wait to see it again. This was my fault. I watched the trailer not once, not twice, but probably 15 times because I was so excited. This, besides Scream, of course. Do y'all hear an echo? Am I echoing?
I think it's
A
Gabe.
little bit.
It's like the tiniest little
Okay,
bit.
making sure I'm
Yeah.
not going crazy.
Yeah.
But besides Scream, X was like my most anticipated movie of the year, and I loved every second of it. I thought it was fantastic. I gave it a 5 out of 5, and also like I live in Texas, more specifically the Houston area, which you see it right at the beginning, so it really hit home to me. You know, a lot of it did. So I was like, this is awesome. I love this.
Cool. Winter, how about you?
Okay, so I'm the oddball and I go out of 10. Just because like it's hard with me to film, so I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I'm afraid of getting old officially. I'm gonna leave that there.
Me
I
too.
was horrified. I was nauseous. It was funny. I really, really, really appreciate Kid Cudi's character.
Yeah.
I thought he did absolutely amazing, and it was actually really cool to see him move into a film like this outside of his music career. That's just because I'm so used to his music side. So it was honestly really cool to see him in the role that he played. I liked it a lot. It was very, very different and unique. Definitely got me out of my comfort zone, and it felt like an A24 film that everyone could relate to and kind of jump on, because A24, I will say, is like the weird side of films, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but for example, like Midsummer's not like your typical horror film. It's very, very out there, not something that you commonly see. So when it comes to them, they have very tasteful horror films that's not common. And A24 did a really awesome job of a breath of fresh air. Felt like, yeah, it was a common slasher, but it just felt so much of something of its own, you know. Chainsaw, The Taking of Deborah Logan, I got The House of the Devil feels. Like it was everything in one film. I can go on and on, but yeah, 6 out of 10 for me, and I was very pleased.
I agree with the Taking a Deborah Logan part. I said that too.
Oh, and The Visit for me.
Yep, The
Whenever I
Visit.
saw the trailer, I was like,
yeah.
Yeah,
right when
This
she
bitch
was like,
sundowning.
yeah, when he was like, when it gets dark, she's not well. I was like, exactly.
Dementia.
She's sundowning right now. I know it.
She's sundowning at the
Except
moment.
she just wants to fuck everybody.
is fucking crazy and like literally made me so ill, and we'll dive more.
so ill.
Yeah.
Like made her like the most vile old woman ever. Like even like in The Taking of Logan, that bitch was wild too and sucking on somebody's head, but her, like, I don't know what that was about, but
Yeah, no, it's wild. Gabe, quick thoughts. I know your thoughts, but I guess just reiterate them before we break into the plot and all the things that we want to talk about.
All right. Well, since obviously I'm the old guy here, right? Because I have computer issues. No, but I thought that the movie, I give it a good 4.8 out of 5. I always think A24 really does great horror movies. I love Midsummer. I love Hereditary. I can't speak tonight. Anyways, I love all their horror movies. And I don't know. I just thought the movie was great. I love the Texas feel to it. A lot of like The Hills Have Eyes. I love that isolated Texas feel that this movie had, and a lot of these movies have. And my family growing up, we came from El Paso, Texas. So I don't know. Just I have, even though I'm not from Texas, I was born in Chicago. Texas is like special in a sense because of my family from being from El Paso, and this, these movies that take place in like the Southwest, I always like so much because I feel like something like part of my heritage, I guess I would say.
Yeah,
definitely.
Brett says looking forward to the next A24 film, Men. That
Scariest title.
That one looks good. Yeah,
Men.
It
That's
is.
all you can tell me.
The guy
Men
that
are
made
just
that
scary.
Get me out. Scariest movie of all time.
Oh, the incels will come for you guys. You better watch
For
out.
real. Spoiler flicks. They mad.
So I really, really loved the movie, and I was kind of like in this state of awe the whole time because I really enjoy all of Ty West's films. He did In a Valley of Violence. He did House of the Devil was the movie that blew my mind because when I had watched it, I heard so much about it, but I was not prepared for how well he does so many little details where if I had shown that movie to anybody, and they also did this VHS release of it too back when it came out. If I had popped that on VHS and said this is from 1983, pretty sure like 99% of people would believe it because
he's good at suspense.
He's very good at suspense, and that's what this film does so well. I think this is his best movie. And he took like a 10-year break from making horror movies. His last film was like 5-6 years ago, but he's been doing TV. This is everything that he loves in film, and it's like dialed to 11. It doesn't feel like A24. It feels more so like a movie from 1979, the movie that like the time that it's set in. It feels like Texas Chainsaw. It feels like The Hills Have Eyes. It feels honestly like I saw somebody compare it to Wes Craven, like 70s Wes Craven, and I totally agree with that. It definitely has that vibe.
The camera, like the way like at some parts wasn't like crisp, it was kind of gritty and like just like the format, like it just felt good to not watch like, I don't know if this sounds correct, but like a 4K, like full blown.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like from scratch, and like the whole like idea of just felt like it was almost like they were manifesting in a time to where there was only so much money, you know, to create a film like Texas Chainsaw. And I felt like they took so much inspo off of that and created this. So it just felt just vintage and old and scary, like just not like new in your face kind of thing.
So going based on what you said, it's sort of like how Rob Zombie does his gritty
That's what I was thinking.
movies and like
grindhouse
grindhouse type, very grimy, but Ty West obviously did it so much better. But it's still that same feels.
Yeah, and they have the best porn names in this movie. Just pointing like like the first half of this movie is straight up Boogie Nights, and you also have Martin Henderson does like this whole like Matthew McConaughey impression throughout the whole film, and it's amazing. I love
that man. The Strangers Pray at Night is one of my favorite movies, and he was also in The Ring, which I love. But The Strangers Pray at Night, all time, one of my favorites. And I didn't realize that was him. Like, literally, the first time I saw the trailer, I was like, is that Matthew fucking McConaughey right now? I deadass thought it was him. And I was like, no, that's not him.
Who was in The Strangers?
He was the dad.
And the second one, he's the dad. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So, like, whenever I watched it before we went, I was like, holy shit. Like, a couple of days, I was like, oh, my God, how did I not fucking realize? So that made me even more excited. I love him. I thought he was – I don't know. I don't like country guys. Like, I really don't. But him and, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, Richter, I was like, damn. Damn. Maybe it's because I'm, like, surrounded by them, and they're not that kind of country. They're just, like, yee country, you know? But seeing, like, that kind of country, I was like, that is hot. I see where it is, yes.
That's why he ran that strip joint. I think everybody fell under his spell. He's very charming in this movie.
He is. And you know, like another thing I like about him is like, even though, you know, strip joint, that they're making porn, but he doesn't feel gross, you know? Like I feel like he could have felt really nasty, but no, he's like, this is gonna be great. Look at Maxine. That's my future fiance. She's fucking killing it. Y'all girls are doing great, you know? And, like, he could have been, like, super sleazy, which I'm glad he wasn't, because that just makes this feel more real, in my opinion, just because these characters just feel so real. These look like people I would run into that fucking rinkety-ass gas station. I feel like I would see them there and believe it, because when they're on screen, and even though, you know, this is Brittany Snow, who I love, I was obsessed with Pitch Perfect and the couple of other horror movies she was in, but to see her in this role, and it feels so real, and it doesn't feel necessarily nasty, even though it could have been, because it's like sexploitative movie. To me, it never crossed that line of like, this is just gross. We're seeing these women because sex. It felt like, okay, this looks actually tastefully done. So That's another thing I really appreciate about the movie.
Absolutely.
No, they don't feel like characters.
Go ahead, babe. I was going to
They
read.
don't feel like characters.
Brett says Martin Henderson doesn't have a very successful survival rate in horror movies, and he's completely correct. He probably gets the worst death in this movie, and certainly in that one. Yeah,
he has the best line though that I could use in everyday life. It's not. He's like he was said. It's not cheating if it's on video. So like, you could use it in real life.
No, you can't.
It's not cheating if it's on video.
Exactly.
Well, that's true. It applies to like OnlyFans and stuff. So, yeah, but I do agree that this movie has a very sort of feminist twist to it, which is pretty. I mean, that's always the mainstay in horror movie. Horror movies are very feminist centric, going back to Psycho and Halloween. And this film, which is why I wanted you guys to come on in the first place, calling yourselves the Final Girls on Instagram, doing the live show, I think has one of the best Final Girls we've seen over the past 10 years, because it breaks all the rules of what a final girl is supposed to be, and also set in a time period where the rules were created. So we're going to start off with how this movie pretty much opens, and we're going to run down the plot from there. Flamethrower Fluss says I got to tell my girl that. Sure.
You do. I mean,
yeah. So okay, one thing I really liked, really quick, we'll touch on it, and then we'll go to the scene that I wanted to touch on. So we start off in 1979, which is fantastic. It's at the height of the adult video boom, heading to home video. And we get this opening scene very reminiscent to Texas Chainsaw, starting off with these murders, and the police department investigating what's going on. And then we get a close-up of somebody doing this epic line of coke in the backstage room of a strip club, and it is Maxine Minx, who is pretty much our final girl, the character that we follow in this movie. So we haven't gotten to her yet, and I think we should, because Mia Goth is like crazy good in this movie.
I feel like I haven't seen anything with her in it. Like, I didn't even really know who she was until this.
Watch. Have you seen the remake of Suspiria?
Not yet.
Yes.
Is she in that?
Yes.
Yeah, she is in that.
I'm gonna watch
She's
it.
in it, and I'm gonna be chef's kiss, even though she's kind of like a bystander. Fucking great.
There's scenes in that movie that like completely still freak me out. There's images that just stay with you. That movie is so fucked up.
A Cure for Wellness. She was in A Cure for Wellness.
Yes, that too. Yep.
Cool. Any other thoughts on Mia Goth real quick? I thought she was great, and I thought that she plays two roles in the movie, right? So she has to carry the whole film. It's got to rely on her shoulders. She really has to deliver. And she's got this really interesting vibe about her. It's not like, she reminds me of Anya Taylor-Joy in that way, you know, where there's this very specific charm. And I don't know, I really like her every time I see her pop up and stuff. So it was really cool to see her shine and get that moment that this is like her big role right here. I haven't seen her in anything too big besides like character acting pieces or supporting roles.
Right. I mean, to touch base on Mia Goth, to be completely honest, like, I felt like, you know how like Sidney Prescott like carries Scream and stuff like that. Like, I literally felt like Mia carried this film from the beginning to the end. And you know, so it's hard when you carry a film because it's a hit or it's a, but she really performed so well, from sniffing a line of coke, saying that, you know, she doesn't want to live a life that she doesn't deserve, and you know, obviously will lead to the ending. But I really feel like everything that she personally went through, we got to see it on the screen. Like, obviously we don't know her background, you know, with her past and her family, but I just felt like the role that she played, I just felt like all her trauma kind of came out at once. As weird as that sounds, like, I just felt like she's used to the sex world, you know, doing coke, trying to make money, do her thing, but she's also, I felt like that's her way of coping. So I just felt like throughout this film, while watching her cope and make this money, I just felt like, I don't know, another side was her was starting to pour out per each scene that she was portraying.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, I agree with everything you guys are saying. She's a revelation, and then as Brett's saying in the chat, she had the X factor, just like Wayne says in the movie.
Exactly. She really
yeah.
does. Like Winter was saying, and like I kind of said earlier, like for me, like her character specifically, like really like resides with me. I come from like nothing, no one, nothing in my family, nothing at all. And when she's sitting there saying exactly like she wants to live the life she deserves, like she knows what she deserves and she's going to do whatever she needs in order to get that life. And that's kind of how I feel now. And it was kind of nice to see a character that was just like, this is what I'm doing. I will get there. She knows she will get there. It's just, how do you make it happen? And that's how I feel. That's how I felt like these past couple of years of kind of being stuck in like what feels like a limbo of like, I don't want to live this life. I want to live this life, but I'm stuck here. So her character really like, I don't know, it meant a lot to me. That's something that didn't even hit me watching the movie. It was after I got home, I was like, oh, wow. Like I see a lot of myself in her. And like I was saying, Texas, the way it looks, I was telling Brett the other day, like there's a house down the road that literally looks like that house, but like a smaller version. Like so much of where I live looks exactly like that. So it was just really, really cool to see that and to see a character who has so much importance without like throwing it in your face per se. Like we see stuff, but we don't really find out about anything, which I think is really cool because like Winter was saying, the more it goes on, the more you're like slowly learning about her character. And those like slow moments with her swimming or just like walking around barefoot, to me that just made it feel so real because I feel like that's exactly what you would see. It just I don't know. And she has like a really interesting look about her. If you've seen her, she doesn't really have eyebrows. And I'm actually bleaching my eyebrows. She kind of gave me that push to finally do it. I got the bleach today. I'm excited.
Period.
But she has this like really interesting look. And it's just like when she's on screen, you can't help but look at her.
Yeah.
No matter what she's doing.
I think, and so we can, I don't want to like stay stuck on this, but mad respect for you for sharing that. I think we're so used to this, I don't know if stigma is the right word, of every time we start a movie coming from, you know, like big job corporations, like Belko Experiment, you know, it's every office working on fashion or something. I like, you know, kind of like what you're saying, it just felt fresh, like seeing like her having nothing and from some, whether, you know, you don't look as cleaned up or you look super cleaned up or you look unique. Like I just felt like it was so smart to have this role. I mean, Mia's stunning, but she's unique, I will say, and you know, just like the way that she presents herself. And I felt like that was so eye-opening to everybody because we're so used to, again, not to sound bad, Brittany Snow's a hot fucking girl. Okay.
100%.
Had to put her in there, you know, you got this hot blonde, but also Mia Goth is authentically yourself, and that's what makes her attractive. Like that's what attracted me to her, is she's like herself. She's not this cleaned up, dolled up, she's herself, and I loved it.
Yes.
Yeah, I
That's
really
awesome.
like that she's like not portrayed as like, you know, like in the classic Halloween, Laurie Strode's like a good girl, Nancy's a good girl, like Sydney's like, you know, this perfect little good girl. But she's not, and it's like adding a level of like you don't have to be this perfect little like model citizen to be like a badass and somebody that deserves to live in the end.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I read something that, and you guys bring up a good point, and Destiny, thank you for sharing that. This movie doesn't have a conservative mindset about sex, right? It's very open, and the characters are very open, and you need that, especially today, because we don't have like old horror movies. We were just watching like The Burning, and like I'm looking at these.
I
I'm
really
like,
like it.
which is awesome. The Burning is
I forgot
fucking
to say
10 out of
that.
10, amazing.
So good.
It's the best. But a lot of these older films have a very conservative mindset, and we know the rules because of Scream. It's like, don't have sex, don't have sex, don't have sex. Laurie Strode's the only one that does not have sex, and she's like a virgin. And I'm not trying to virgin shame her, but
Virgin shame.
yeah. But then she survives. But in this, it's totally different, where there's like a whole conversation about sex positivity and stuff in this movie. And that's really fresh for a final girl that is like sort of a badass, and she kind of fits in line with other sort of characters of that time period. I think of movies that I would watch back to back with this, even like Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof, which also does like this grindhouse slasher thing as well, and also has this positive like female forward perspective. So I don't know. It's like Mia Goth is the central performance of all that, and if she doesn't work, I feel like the movie doesn't work. And in any other movie, if this was a big studio, Virgins Never Die. Yeah, that's true. In any other movie, Brittany Snow would have been the final girl if this was like 2009 or something.
If this was
But
prom
now,
night.
yeah, this is prom night. But I don't know. That's for me. That was like the big selling point, and we'll get to Ty West, his directing and stuff, because obviously it's A+. So I want to introduce the rest of the cast really quick because we haven't really covered them, and it's a whole list of fantastic characters. And we even got a character that's got big glasses and long hair, which in a movie that's in like a hot Texas type thing, like you need that. You need a guy that just looks sweaty and dirty and kind of weird looking. So we have Mia Goth, obviously. Kid Cudi is Jackson Hole, which is like the best name ever.
I forgot it was Kid Cudi the whole time. I don't know.
Oh, he's
why.
great in this. He's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Henderson is Wayne, which why wouldn't his name be that? Brittany Snow is another great porn name, Bobby Lynn, and she looks like the type of girl you would see in that era doing those dirty movies. Jenna Ortega, who is like she's the new Jamie Lee right now, right? Like she's the next big scream queen. And she's also incredibly talented. And here she plays Lorraine. And then we have who I mentioned, Owen Campbell as RJ. And he reminded me of a lot of characters like the dad in the Hills Have Eyes remake, or even the dude from the Evil Dead remake.
I was gonna
say that.
Well, you need a guy with big glasses and long hair. Like,
I was
it's a must.
100% convinced that was him.
I know.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say that. And for a second, I had to do a double take with the trailer. I'm like, is this guy playing like the same? I'm like, oh no, it's different.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So we have everybody get over to this farmhouse. They're shooting a movie called The Farmer's Daughter. Again, the attention to detail is like incredible in this. And that's what Ty West is the king of. And the way I've been comparing this movie is it's a tale of two halves. And he's really good at ramping up the suspense, where it's a classic horror trope that I love, that I feel like a lot of modern movies don't do as often, is that we know what's coming, the characters don't.
Mm-hmm.
We know something's going to happen. Something really, really bad's going to happen, but they don't know it yet.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I wrote notes on it earlier just because I knew I would forget the entire movie if I didn't. That's what I like. I think I kept saying that to you, that I really like that like they didn't know they were in danger, besides Jenna Ortega and Mia Goth, until it was too late.
Yeah.
Like Kid Cudi gets shot, didn't see it coming. Brittany Snow falls into the water and gets fucked up by a gator. Didn't see it coming until it was too late. Like I just really liked, like I said, we knew it was coming and they didn't, and I think they did that part really well. Where like, I don't know, like this again, it's just the suspense of knowing when they don't, which Ty West is really good at.
We also forgot a major character, the fucking alligator. There's an alligator in this movie that they never showed in any trailer.
I gotta ask, geographically, is there really gators in Houston?
There, literally, I was just like, so there's a town right over from me where my boyfriend used to mow at. This is literally like 20 minutes away. They have fucking alligators there.
Okay.
There's been like, I'll get on Facebook and there's been like a news share to where they find a fucking big ass alligator in the middle of the road in a town that's 2 towns from me. So there are alligators. They're not that common. You're not probably just going to see one anywhere, but
Right.
there are alligators here.
It's like me and my girlfriend, we were talking about it after the movie, and she's like, I didn't know there was, gators in Houston. I was like, well, it's the Gulf Coast, and I know there's some in Louisiana because of the Water Boy. I was like, so I'm figuring it's like all connected in that little Gulf Coast area. So I was like, there should be.
There
She's
are.
like that kid at Disney World.
Dude, I was
Right.
scared to go to fucking Disney after that. I went to Disney right after that, and I was like, I'm not going to fucking no water. No water for me, because I was
Come on,
terrified. Fucking
No, but I want to like touch base a little bit because I know Winter had said it, but Kid Cudi, his work in this was amazing, and to see him where he started off acting in the video game movie Need for Speed, where he was like he was decent for what that movie needed, to where he is now as an actor, and other some of like the minor roles he's had. It's phenomenal. Plus, as a fan of his music, knowing the personal and mental issues, he was in rehab and all the stuff that he's gone through, the suicidal tendencies and stuff, for him to come out on the other side, and to me, this could be his vehicle to like bigger and better things as far as acting is concerned, because he was great in this. And so I'm so glad that he is fine at this point, and he's going to continue hopefully making bigger and better movies.
Well, like I said, I forgot it was Kid Cudi. Like, I knew he was in it, but then for some reason, I hadn't seen trailers in forever. Like, I forgot. I thought it was like a regular actor. Mm-hmm. Like, it was so almost like at the end, I was like, oh shit, right, that was Kid Cudi. That's why he can play the guitar.
Right. It was. I agree with what you were saying. I don't know if anyone listened to his like most recent album, but his most recent album is very dark and very raw. It's really good, but it kind of just opens up on who he is now from what he came from. Like you were saying, being able to see him do this, and he just looked so full of light and proud on social his own character, that it was just so refreshing to see for him. And I just honestly, I wish nothing but the best for him. He definitely deserves it, and he did amazing.
I would be happy too if I had one of those things and my shadow looked like that.
This guy's got to have one of the biggest like penises ever put on film.
I just want to set the expectation. They all don't hang like that, okay?
No, yeah. Like, there's a scene in Django where like he has this ridiculously big penis, and I wonder, does Jamie Foxx pack that much heat? Same thing with Kid Cudi. Maybe they do. Who knows? Good for those guys.
For those guys.
No, seriously. But this section of the movie is some of my favorite before the horror kicks off. I love that the first half is straight up like this, like comedy porno movie from the 70s. It's very much Boogie Nights, and Mia Goth is very much female Dirk Diggler, and the mantra that she says is the exact same mantra he says in the movie, saying I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. But those are my favorite moments of the film, and the Fleetwood Mac moment is like really, really cool. And like those are things that aren't in horror movies as much, where you have these intricate, really good character moments that lead to great conversations about sex, about all these different things. And then like, but it's also incredibly funny, and you get their point of view, even if you go, characters like, all right, well, I don't know, but you understand where they're coming from, each and every one of them. I don't know. I really enjoyed that aspect of it before the terror kicks off. So
I don't know if anyone else cried during Landslide, but
I did.
I was like, damn, I was like, this is getting really deep, but I appreciated it. But my ass was crying. I'm like, they really just got down dirty, and now they're all up in here singing Fleetwood Mac. I was like, I can get with this.
That's what I was gonna say. I had my hand up because it's hard when me and Tony are in the same apartment. Like, I can hear him in the other room. Like, I don't want to cause echo, but that's what I had that in my notes as well. That when they're singing it, like, even though we know what this lady is, I felt really bad for her watching her like take off her makeup because her husband don't want all that. Like, they did a really good job at like, these people are bad, but also it's, I get it.
Yeah.
She just wants some.
He wanted it. It's just he had a bad heart.
He's ready to have a heart attack for it.
Side note: Jackson Hole could have saved the whole movie had he been the one that was seduced. He would have done it in no time, no questions asked. He would be like, "All right, it's charity work at that point." But yeah, this section of the movie is where things start to ramp up, and we know that at this point, Pearl is very much, I guess, lovesick in a way where she's jealous. That this movie is driven by jealousy and hatred towards these younger people. And we'll get into her motives because it's really cool. It's something that we don't see often. This is like a hallmark moment, the one that I'm about to say, because now we're getting into the horror. It's the Don't Fear the Reaper moment where RJ is brutally slain. And I looked to Victoria and I was just smiling ear to ear because I said, out of any song that could have been used, out of any, like,
yes,
it was so perfect. And it's a moment where, like, if I had to picture frame any horror movie moment, like, that's going to stick with me for quite some time.
Well, I remember that, like, ages ago, there was a rumor, like, one of the Halloween Kills leak scripts was that he was going to kill the couple dressed up as the nurse and Mary and two like Don't Fear the Reaper was going to be in the background on the radio, and when it didn't happen, like I'm glad when it turned on in this, I was like, I'm getting my scene.
Yes,
Like,
as soon as he
hell
turned on that
yeah.
radio and I heard it, I was like, oh fuck, here we
go.
go. You put that song in your movie, that's like a point itself.
Yeah.
Like right there, I will give you a point if Don't Fear the Reaper is playing in your fucking movie, because
Mhm.
I loved it. And I fucking, again, I really wish I wouldn't have watched the trailer so much, because the trailer does give away quite a, like, you can tell what's going on, and a lot of it in the trailer is kind of played in order, so you know sort of what's happening. As soon as he got in that car, I was like, oh, I know he's about to die, but I don't even care. The song is on, and the way when, you know, he gets attacked, which, spoiler for Scream if you haven't seen it, it really reminds me of Vince's kill in Scream, because it's so like quick to the throat. And then my audience, like at the theater, everyone was just like, oh, and then it fucking kept going. Because I remember in the trailer there being red, and I was like, oh, I wonder where the red is. But as she's stabbing him, the blood is spraying onto the fucking lights, and the way it casted that red, fucking beautiful. And I really liked, yes, that moment to where it's different in her head. Like there's a different song playing for her, and she has like, as if she's in the spotlight. I was just like, what's going on? And it's one of those things, like when they started singing Landslide, I was like, wait, what are we doing? What's happening? But it's just such a nice moment to kind of take you out of the movie and just to like sit with these people, sit with what they're going through. I like that scene so much. And I saw people saying like, that was really weird. It's such a weird scene, but it's just like one of those things, like I was saying, like they were just fucking in the other room, and here they are eating sandwiches, which something about just seeing people eat a sandwich feels so real, because it's like, who just eats like a sandwich like that these days, you know? Just to see them eat a fucking
just bologna and cheese.
Yes, I was just like, this is real. These are real people, because they're fucking eating bologna and cheese. But just to have that moment when she's sitting there dancing, and it's just like, wow, you really see like where she is mentally. You know what I mean? So that scene was fucking great. I loved it.
And I mean, since I only saw a few of the trailers, I'm not sure how they promoted it as the movie got closer. But I feel like when I watched the movie, the trailers felt misleading. Like, not misleading, but the trailers felt like, oh, she's killing them because they're having sex. But I feel like with the landslide scene, where the lyrics kind of make sense for her situation, it was really more of a movie that you can see why she's upset. It's more, she's not killing them because they're shooting porn in her barn. Like, that's what they made it seem like when I watched the trailers. And it's just like, it's this deeper story of how she's feeling. She never got to be like that, because obviously it was, I don't even know what year it was, what year the next one takes place where she's young, but just
50s, I think.
Having that like sexual freedom and being able to express herself, like that makes sense. Like, it's sad in a way.
Yeah. Another thing that caught me off guard that wasn't in the trailer, which I thought it was just going to be her killing. Yeah. Whenever I watched that trailer, I was like, he's going to be trying to stop his wife. Not at all. He's right there with her.
Howard's a cuck the whole
that
movie.
Was really cool to see, because the whole time I was like, he's giving weird vibes. Maybe it's because he's old. But in my head, the whole time I was thinking, like, she's the bad one. Like, she's the one doing everything. But no, like, they're in on it together, and they've been doing this. We find out, like, this has been, you know, going on from these people. But whenever, you know, he finally, like, shoots fucking Jackson, I was just like, damn. He's just as bad, man. Fuck these old people. But it's still sad, because like you're saying, you can kind of not see where she's coming from, because like Mia Goth's character is pretty much saying, like, that's not our fault. Like, this is not our fault. You feel this way. Like, that's you. Like, we shouldn't die because you feel this way.
Kill people.
Yeah, but it's like, but you really, like, I empathize with her, because that does suck, and I don't want to get old, and we're all gonna get old, and that's scary. That is so scary. But just to see that, I was just like really thinking, I was like, oh my god, am I gonna look like that when I'm old? I don't want to look like that when I'm old. And like, I got home and I put on so much moisturizer. Like, I'm remembering every morning, every night. Make sure you put it on.
SPF, y'all. That's the most important part.
Literally, look at the skin. Especially it just makes me want to take care of myself. Yeah.
SPF.
Don't go outside.
Don't go outside.
I love when they give the killer like more humanist traits, not like humanitarian, but like they
Mhm.
show that they're not just some like idealistic evil thing. They show, yeah, they're like a bad person, but inside they're still a person just like us. Like, yeah, they've got some fucked up issues, but like at the end of the day, you kind of have to sympathize with it a little bit, even though it's not justifying what they do. It's still like giving you something to relate, even like a little bit, to the killer. I think that's really powerful when they give you something like that in movies.
Agree.
Yeah. And then we pick up, RJ gets killed off, and then everybody starts getting picked off at this point. And this is where it becomes full on slasher to the fullest extent. I don't remember quite the order of who gets killed off first. I'm pretty sure it's Wayne that's next.
Yep.
If I'm correct. And Wayne gets like, this is like something that straight up out of like Sleepaway Camp or Friday the 13th. Wayne steps on a nail, starts complaining. Yeah, starts pretty much. Kevin McAllister had something to do with it. Starts complaining about how he could get an infection, and then straight up gets a pitchfork to the eyeballs. It's so good. It's so fantastic. And at that point, you're on the edge of your seat because everything is happening in sequence where it really doesn't let up. And we'll get into the other ones because they just get crazier from there, the kills. But yeah, good old Wayne dies. And I kind of felt heartbroken when he died. Because I'm like, oh, man, I really like that guy.
I just thought of something I wanted to add. Sorry. I saw Destiny about to talk. I'm sorry. I just thought of it right now.
Go ahead.
Like people like him, and then like we're gonna think because Brittany Snow is next after him. I like to, like we were talking about, these aren't your typical, like Mia Goth isn't a typical final girl. I like that they give people who have sex a good, like they're good people, and not like in older horror movies where like, oh, they have sex, they do drugs, they're bitches. Like Annie from Halloween, bitch. Like just not a good friend. Whereas like these people, like Brittany Snow actually tries to help this woman for a second before she slaps her. But like just because you have sex, it doesn't make you a bad person. You can do drugs and be a good person. Like I don't know. I just wanted to add that, like, even with him, he said he wasn't like sleazy, he wasn't gross. He was still like doing the best for them, I feel like, and like being positive. Like, I don't know, these people
he was a Southern feminist queen.
Exactly. Yes. Southern feminist queen. I can watch a movie just like a sex comedy of these people.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even have to be a horror movie. I would love to just follow these characters somehow again because I love them so much. Not one of them felt for me like underutilized. They all had these moments, like these great little character moments. I like as soon as they get there, they're just like looking around and then they just like get right into it. And it like also for me, it like reminded me of Cam in a way.
Yep.
Because in Cam, like it doesn't feel nasty when you're watching it. It just feels like this is just life. This is just our lives. That's it. That's all there is to it. And that's how they treat it. They just treat it like a work thing. But I was really sad to see really any of them go. Like when they started dying off, I was like, damn, like I don't want them to die, which is great because there's a lot of horror movies where you don't care if they live or not. You're just like, fine, kill them. I don't care. Want it to be over. But with these characters, I didn't want any of them to die. Obviously, they're going to. It is a horror movie. But still, it freaking sucked when they went. I loved Wayne. I would have loved to see more of them, any of these characters. And his death was cool because in the trailer, you do see him looking in that hole and you see like something like go by really quick. You don't see like it fucking going through like in his eye, which I was happy about because even though I knew that scene was coming, I didn't think he was about to die like right there. And the whole added like nail scene. And that part's so funny because he's like, RJ, get out here. You got to help me. RJ's dead over there on the ground. But like you were saying, they just feel so lived in. Like the whole movie just feels lived in. Everything about it. Even the fucking grouse outside. I was just like, damn, this just looks so real. And the long shots of them walking. I don't know. I'm rambling, but it's just great. I don't know.
Right. What I thought was cool was, and I'm going to go back a little bit, was like Jenna Ortega, right? I thought she was going to be the final girl. She's the virgin. She's the one that doesn't have sex. She was the one that was looking down on the girls having sex. She's like, why are you doing this? Like all this other stuff. And then for her to do a complete 180 and be like, yo, let me get in on some Kid Cudi. Like, I want some of that. And like I thought that was a great way for her to like come open into her own like sexuality and own it at that point, in a sense. And the movie just took it and was like, all right, she's not gonna be your final girl. We're not doing like the virgin is the final girl. We're just gonna do our own thing, and we're gonna just make this, we're gonna own this movie at this point. Like we're not gonna take any of these rules into heart and just do our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
gonna, my bad.
oh, sorry.
Go ahead, you're good.
For all those motherfuckers out there
I know what you're gonna say.
that
You're-
were mad, that you're mad that you don't fucking see anything in her sex scene.
Isn't she 19?
She's fucking 19. I think she was 18 when she shot this.
Y'all are weird
You
for
could
wanting
suck
to
my
see
dick.
barely
People are mad
legal
about
women
it?
naked.
I
will
was so
die on that
pissed.
hill.
People
Which-
are hella mad on Letterboxd, and I'm let me tell you what, it was so refreshing to also see a girl say, hey, I'm trying to fuck, but don't show me naked.
Period.
I actually like that. Like, we saw some action, and then we thought we were going to get some, and cut the camera. And I actually really, even at 30 years old, like, it shouldn't mean anything if you don't get to see the damn naked. Like,
Yep.
you know what's going to, she wanted to be part of it. Her mans was pressed about it. Like, that's it. Like, who cares? Her
He was
tits?
down
Like,
bad. He was
Yeah, he
down
was.
bad. Yeah, he
Because
was crying in the shower.
in the trailer, you do see where you see her, and it's so quick. I was like, is that Jenna Ortega? And for me, I know some people are like, we're gonna see her tits. I was like, oh no. I don't want to see this on screen. Like, I don't want to see that. For me,
It would be
that would
weird
just be
because
weird.
she was a high schooler in Scream, and then like a month later, like she's
Yeah.
gonna go all nude. And plus,
Yeah,
she's
like that just doesn't feel fitting yet. Like, give her, like, if she wants to do it, if she wants to do it, that's her.
Yeah.
Maybe like in a few years, I won't feel so. Because that's what made me uncomfortable. I was like, no. But I love the shot that they did where you see it like in the reflection instead. I was like, that is so good. And then it cuts away. I was like, yes.
But isn't it
That
like
is great.
standard for like the Disney girls to like do something like that, but like in their 20s, like Bella Thorne and Hilary Duff? Like once they hit their 20s is when they really go over sexualized. So she's still a little bit too young to go that route.
Right. See, it's hard. Like, I agree with that. Like, I feel like that's also like another like stigma situation. But like, it's also, I think too, like that's what maybe kind of weirds us out. Like, you're so used to them seeing in that like setting and being young and being Disney, doing their thing, and then being this. Like, it took me a hot minute from being okay to seeing Miley Cyrus's tits, to be fair, because I'm Hannah Montana stan. But now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, if I see it, like, hurrah, titties. But like, I don't want to. I'm good.
And
Yeah.
people are weird for taking stars off their rating because Jenna Ortega was not naked. I don't care if she's 19 now. Like I said, I will die on the hill if you are a fucking creep. If you cannot wait to see a barely legal girl naked.
Yeah. Someone
Period.
fucking
End of story.
responded because I quoted a tweet. Someone like screenshotting like of the reviews on Letterboxd, and I said, she's literally 19. What the fuck? Someone responded saying, but she's legal. It's like, fuck you.
If that's your
Get out
only
of my
reason,
face.
you're a creep.
Get
Sorry.
out
But this is like
I
a
said
movie too.
barely.
Like
I said
movies
he-
don't have real sex. It's simulated. They don't have real anything. They wear prosthetics. It's just like, why, if the director didn't call for it, then it's not in it. Like it's a non-issue because it's not on screen. It's
How
not going to
was
happen.
extremely
Move
legal
on.
Brittany Snow, and I don't know how old Mia Goth is, but how were they not
Almost
enough?
30,
Like,
I
y'all
think.
are fucking weird for wanting to see minors. You're weird.
And like those scenes were like, you got to see so much of them,
For
like
real.
it's like
You watch
it's
porn the
it's
whole
all
time.
there. You're fine. You should be okay. Fucking weirdos. Anyways,
Strange
sorry.
criticism.
That just
We're
really,
about to
I
go
was
off.
mad. I was mad. It was last Friday. I was at work. I said, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? On the way home, I was tweeting. I was so mad. I was so angry about that. And I fucking knew people were going to be like that.
Yep.
I knew it. And I was just like, God damn. I hate
At
this.
least like for me though, I'm gonna take it the other way. This is like the year of the dick. Okay, because I will say this: after seeing Jackass and so many other
Oh my
movies
God.
like this year, I've seen so much dick on film.
Swear to God, Jackass Forever was penis central. The whole movie was just penis in my face.
We're getting penis
From the
representation,
beginning,
Gabe.
Peniszilla. We had a Peniszilla, like right there,
Oh,
right
yeah.
In
at the
all
beginning.
shapes and sizes.
But
Nobody's getting penis shamed. There's all shapes and sizes. And the micro penis on TikTok, people are praising it. So anybody out there, if you got one, people on TikTok love you.
this, like, as much as in horror, it's like the girl being naked. This was refreshing to see, like I say, it's refreshing to see a penis, but I mean, the other gender as well being naked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw something. I think it might have been Ty West. I was reading like some articles like a couple of days after I saw it, and like it was important for the men to also be naked.
Yeah.
And you totally see that. You see RJ, you don't see his dick, but he's fully naked in the shower. You get to see a lot of them. You see Martin's character out in some fucking little ass underwear, walking around practically naked. You see Kid Cudi's real or fake dick. You get to see that. And I was like, thank you. Because, like, to me, that's also what tones down the, like, hyper sexiness of it.
Yep.
Like, that's when it, to me, like, it doesn't feel gratuitous in a way. It just feels like normal. This is just normal, which
Right.
I really appreciated from this movie.
And I
Which
think
is
that's
good because they're trying to normalize, sex, like in this movie, trying to make it normalize as their everyday life, and then for us to feel just like, okay, it's just a normal movie with just dicks and boobs. That's good.
And I feel like that's why too this movie feels so different and it doesn't feel gross, because there was ages ago this question on the Killer Flicks group, like something about, do you think sex scenes are necessary in horror movies? And of course a lot of people are like, yeah. And I think the reason why I'm always like, no, it's so stupid, is because it's so like not exploitative, but it's always look at these boobs and look at her full naked body, and it's just like clearly a grab.
Mhm.
Whereas like with this, you see both genders and it doesn't feel as gross. It's like, this is just normal. This is what people do. They walk around naked. Kid Cudi sleeps naked, whatever. Like they just walk around. It's not like even Linda in Halloween, it feels like, all right, that's enough. It's iconic, but that's enough.
Tits out, sheet down. Yeah, exactly.
It's
like
only
it just,
ever women, and that's why it's like, oh my God, I'm so tired of it. It feels so gross, but this one didn't.
Feels
Like,
a
I
lot
don't-
like more of the plot, like a part of the plot. Like some of them are like
Yeah.
stuck in there, so like some people are satisfied. to see
Exactly.
sex.
Yeah.
It's like this felt more natural, and it's like it is a part of the plot, so it's like doesn't feel like disgusting or forced.
Yeah.
and that's so crazy to say because of like what we see in these sex scenes.
Oh my
Because
God, yeah.
I remember like like we talked about it a little bit. I was kind of giving her the rundown on like, I was like, there's 4 sex scenes. 2 of them are, more than the other 2. One of them, you don't see anything good. The last one with the
You
old
don't want
couple,
to see.
it's a lot. But I was just
that
like,
scene's
they're so
So I was excited for that
focused
scene.
That scene,
old people.
Yes.
that scene
Oh,
freaked me
no.
out, and it leaves that same effect. What I would imagine the dinner scene felt like when people saw Texas Chainsaw for the first time. That's what I would say the equivalent of this is. I was uncomfortable. It was disgusting, but also very heartwarming. And I'm looking at Gabe, and everybody in the theater is cackling in like a really good way because it's uncomfortable and it's super tense because Mia Goth is hiding under the bed trying to escape. It's terrifying. This
And you
whole
don't normally
sequence is
see that like
terrifying.
at all.
Yeah.
No, our movie theater was filled with laughter when me, Tony, Victoria, and my girlfriend Jess saw it. It was an uncomfortable laugh throughout the movie theater. Like everybody was laughing, but it was very uncomfortable. It was very uneasiness. It wasn't laughing because the movie was funny. It was just like you had no other reaction but just to laugh.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were actually by a group of teens,
Oh my God.
and they were all boys. And I just hear them like, "What the fuck is this? Like, this isn't what I paid for." I'm like, I'm listening to a 90-year-old lady tell a dude that's about to die from a heart attack, "Fuck my puss." Like, I wanted to throw up. I wanted to throw up, but yeah, I agree.
I hate people like that. Like as much as it was like, oh my God, giggle uncomfortable. I hate when like
It's a beautiful scene.
I feel like as a teenager I was never disrespectful like that. Like
No.
I will defend that old couple till I die if I get a thing like that. Like leave them alone.
Dude, I was livid because, like I said, X, besides Scream, this was my most anticipated movie of the year, the one I was most excited for. There was a fucking couple at our theater that would not shut the fuck up. They talked the entire fucking movie. Not even like about the movie, just talking. And I was just like, why the fuck are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why did you spend this money to come fucking ruin my day?
Like, no one asked you to be there.
No
You
one
don't have
asked.
to be
I
there.
didn't fucking pay for your commentary. Shut the fuck up. Don't do that. I was so fucking mad. It's like, you can react to scenes, because then someone's like, so what? People can't react to scenes. I'm like, that's not at all what I'm saying. You can react to scenes. You can't fucking talk the whole movie though. You
Yeah,
cannot
for
do
real.
that. Don't fucking do that. But
Yeah.
besides that, besides those assholes, I really enjoyed it with the theater because, and it makes me wonder, like, how many people knew what they were getting themselves into going into this. I knew what I was going to see. I knew I was going to see some fucking and some killing, and I was excited. The other people in my theater, I don't know what they thought they were going to watch because I don't think it's what they were expecting at all. But it was really funny with all the death scenes. Like, everyone gasped. No matter who got killed, everyone was just like, and there was like that uncomfortable laughter during the sex scenes. There was just like some, there's a lot of just actual funny scenes because the movie is funny when it is being funny, which I really like too, to have some laughs.
Mhm.
But the theater, besides those fucking, that couple, fuck them, I hate them. It was a really fun movie to see with people.
It
It's
was
also
just like
a
watching
weird
your
one.
grandparents going at it.
Yeah, it was heartwarming.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want
Aw.
to see it, but also go for it.
When
Like,
I
I
was in
don't-
the
When's the last?
Uh-huh.
I can't even name a time I've seen two. I can't
Grandparents
remember.
fucking?
Yeah, two old people fucking in a horror movie.
I don't know. Yeah.
don't
I
remember.
thought you were about to say, I can't remember the last time I've seen my grandparents fucking.
Yeah,
I'm
me
like, oh, it
too.
must be like this family occasion.
It's just what we do down here in Texas.
Down south.
Down south.
in the
All in the
theater
family.
when I was every time there was like a really quiet scene, all you could hear in the background was the fucking Batman theme song from the theater right next to it.
Oh, that's awesome.
They
I
added
would like
new-
look at
new
my
music.
brother. I'm like, is that fucking Batman right now?
The theater's
So
like
you watched
vibrating.
X and
I'm like,
Batman at the
"Man,
same
it's
time.
getting tense in
That's
there
the
right
ultimate
now."
movie experience.
So you watched Batman X.
Yeah.
Dang,
Next.
2 for 1, Mia. You got
Well, he
lucky.
said if the movie failed, he was going to do porn. So who knows? Maybe there's still time. Maybe we can all not go see the Batman. It'll
Please do it.
somehow not
I
break
don't-
even.
Come on, Robert Pattinson.
I saw a tweet where somebody's just like, well, I hope this movie fails. I'm just not going to see it.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people were like, no one fucking go.
No
Watch
one
Nobody
see
goes-
this movie.
No one see this movie.
I would see a Robert Pattinson porn movie.
It'll be
I'll
our
be
house
Yeah,
porn.
I would see
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
immediately.
It has to be Twilight themed.
Not to get super off topic, but I was waiting for Batman. I was waiting for him to glitter a little bit.
I was low-key hoping he would make like a Twilight reference.
I
That's,
was
like, super
hoping, yeah, I
low-key.
was hoping like a little glitter, maybe a Twilight reference.
especially in like the scene where they're like under the train and it's like raining and a bunch of the guys with the face paint on. I'm like, you better glimmer, bitch.
You better fucking shine.
Right.
Or else.
I got no shine.
Shine. Just
I'm pretty
fucking
sure,
that.
I was
you know, we mentioned virgins. I'm pretty sure Bruce Wayne was a virgin in that movie. 100%.
Why else
did
is
not
he
know how
that
to
mad
act.
for?
He's pissed off and he doesn't know how to act around Catwoman the entire
doesn't
film.
know.
He just seems very awkward. It's the greatest performance. Robert Pattinson's the best. Okay, so another quick scene I want to talk about because I love Tight West knows how to ramp up tension. This sequence from here, this movie is like insane. We haven't gotten to the Gator stuff, but real quick, I want to mention there's a great scene where Jenna Ortega's character is Lorraine. She's creeping around the house after Howard's invited her in. She goes down into the basement. She finds what I assume is a victim, like maybe a hitch, somebody that was maybe stopped for gas by them or whatever. They killed somebody, the couple. And there's a moment where she turns on the light and finds the body. It's so classic 70s horror. It just made me very happy seeing moments like that. And then immediately we get that moment where she puts her hand through the door and she gets her shit sliced up right by Howard, and a great little Shining reference, which I assume with the little door frame.
Mm-hmm.
But that whole sequence is incredible. It's really good, top notch suspense.
I got Black Christmas vibes from it. The
Mhm.
Yep.
gonna lie, when she found the body and they kind of like went up in her face, I was like, Black Christmas. Like I felt the vibe so hard in The Shining. I didn't even think about that, so that's a good one as well.
Yeah, that scene was great because I know I keep saying the trailer, but from the trailer, when it has her screaming and it's like slicing in like other parts of the movie while she's screaming, I was just like, I cannot wait to see why she is screaming. I cannot wait to see what she is seeing. I can't wait to see that scream in that movie because she has a great scream. And like we hear it in Scream, but like to see it just like fully, it's like, I'm not going to compare it to like Hereditary, but that scene with Toni Collette where it's just like full on like, it's not like she's trying to like look good while screaming. You know what I mean? It's just like you could see it full on terror in seconds. She goes from screaming like that, and it was just so amazing. The whole scene was great. And my boyfriend actually caught, which I didn't even catch, the scene whenever Jackson is drinking the milk from the carton. Yeah, and has the missing poster. And because at first I was like, is that RJ? Because it looks like him, long hair. Yeah. Immediately I was like, is that RJ? And then it's not because the other character finds RJ on the ground. But after we left, my boyfriend was like, oh, did you like see it was the guy from the missing poster? I was like,
I didn't notice that. I saw the missing, but I didn't put two and two together. Yeah. Also, I like that you said about her scream. Like, yeah, we saw it in the movie Scream, but I feel like in this movie, it's like these are characters who have never seen anything like that before. Whereas, like, I don't know, in Scream, they know they live in Woodsboro. Yeah. They know about Ghostface. Yeah, it's fucking scary, but this is, like, terrifying to never have seen anything like that. And now it's, like, a tortured body hanging there. Like, what the hell?
Absolutely.
I think that's, like, the one thing I may have not liked about since it looked so much like RJ. Yeah. I thought it was RJ as soon as I saw it. It was, like, the long hair. Like, that's RJ. And she starts screaming for RJ. I'm like, why is this dumb bitch screaming for RJ? And then they show like his body's still in front of the van. But I was like, maybe they should have made that a little more apparent, because my first thought was like, oh, she just found her fucking boyfriend like strung up in this basement. Yeah. But then it's like you don't learn that until like 5-10 minutes later when you see him still on the ground.
Yeah. They should have fucking cut his hair, man. They don't all just cut it a little bit. Well, no.
That's very A24 the way they did it, though, I guess. Yeah, like I do agree, but now when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, seeing him on the milk carton, it's kind of like in Midsummer, where like in the outline of the trees, you see her sister like with the gas mask on and shit like that.
Yeah, and like to me, that's really freaking scary because at this point, you just think your boyfriend's missing. Yeah, but like to see someone like you don't even know, because like to me, that's like that right there just tells you, oh, we're fucked. We're not the first people to come here. So to me, like, that's really fucking scary. So yeah, maybe if his hair was cut a little bit, because I was just like, oh shit, they dragged his body down here and everything.
That was fast.
I know, I was just like, damn, they can move pretty fast for old people, but no.
I think they were just like going off of the whole hippie thing because of the little bug they found in the river. True. Just like the little bumper sticker said like make love, not war. Yeah. So they were just like putting like a hippie dude in the basement, you know.
Put a wig on him.
Which adds on to her being upset. Make love, not war. He was probably, I don't know. They saw that bumper sticker and said, I'm going to go off.
I can't fuck. And then they're just pissed.
Also, I want to quickly add that I know a lot of people are comparing it to Texas Chainsaw, obviously. I feel like if this had been the plot of the newer Texas Chainsaw, that would have been sick too. Like, instead, they somehow end up at the Texas Chainsaw house.
Can I just say a little quick something? So on Killer Flicks, when Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out, I posted something about how I didn't like it because it wasn't. I didn't find the plot that it was entertaining enough, and I said, why can't we hold these movies to a higher standard? I got obliviated in the comments. Like people were telling me I'm stupid. People were telling me that I don't know any movies. That this movie was like a masterpiece, the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I'm sitting here now, and I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about holding horror movies to a higher standard. It's exactly what we just saw in X. It doesn't have to be just about the kills, because everybody's like, oh, it's the kills. Who cares about the plot? It's about the kills.
Me.
No, this movie shows you could have a really good plot and great kills, and the movie be fucking amazing.
Yep.
Exactly. I won't go in detail, but I left that group. But
You say any opinion, you're done.
They've tried to get rid of me many a times. But Lee loves me, so I love Lee back.
I love Lee too.
I love Lee.
He's the best.
He really is. I out that bitch because you cannot say anything in that group. But kudos to you for saying that because it's the truth. Like, it's not about the kills. And, like, I feel like that's what everyone was, like, resenting towards when it came to Halloween Kills. Like, to me, like, I was more pissed about the fucking plot than the stupid ass kills. Like, to me, like, I was pissed over a dry ass plot. That's just not ridiculing anybody else's, but that was my problem. Was there, like, the plot, like, I wasn't gravitating. So, like, why are we so? Obviously, it's tasteful when the kills are great, but also too, I don't want to walk out of a movie and be like, oh yeah, the kills are great, but the plot was ass. Like, I want to feel like 50-50 on both ends. Give it all to me. Like, I want a good plot. So yes, I agree.
And I do agree with that, what Gabe said, like, holding movies to the standard. And this one really, I feel like, set the standard for that. Like, obviously Scream was really good, but I mean, those are known for having a decent plot. This one, it's like, I mean, I agree. Like, why do I have to sacrifice plot for kills? Why can't I have both? Like, and then people sit there and defend it and, like, hate on you for that shit. Like,
I let Gabe take the heat because I fucking hated that movie. Like, I don't hate movies. People know I like a lot. I like a lot. Yeah, I fucking hate it. I love a lot of things, a lot of dumb things. I mean, I want in there. I defend like fucking. I jokingly defend Halloween Resurrection, and like everybody like jumps on me for it.
God forbid.
But I fucking hated that movie. Like, I legit was mad, and like, and what got me mad is that it's competently made. It's like really well shot, and it has really good actors in it, and the kills are pretty amazing. But then it's so, I'm like, why would you do this? Why is this happening? Who did this? And I'm like, okay, now I understand why the directors left the first week, why somebody else was brought in. I totally get it. Yeah. Never will I watch that again. I will watch 3D over that.
I kind of want to watch it again.
Oh, that movie really got me mad, but I know Gabe took a lot of heat for that. So go ahead, Gabe. Sorry.
But I was just going to say, like, there was a certain point that there were so many Oscar nominated. I'm not saying the Oscars are like the end all be all, right? But like Misery, The Exorcist, The Silence of the Lambs, like so many of these horror related movies that got nominated and won Oscars for their plot, for their stories. And at some point we got away from that. Yeah. And it was just like accepted it just for the kills. Yeah. Like when you watch The Exorcist or you watch Misery, yeah, it has great kills, but also has great acting and has a great plot. Yeah. So like, why can't we expect that from our current horror movies and just be there? Oh, they had great kills.
Yeah. Get Out won a fucking Oscar for best screenplay. Like we should ask that from every horror. I mean, I love slashers, but I also think that you have people like Ty West and like Jordan Peele that come in and go, okay, like I love these movies too. Let's just make a perfect movie that also happens to be scary as hell at the same time, but have characters that you root for.
That's what I'm freaking like. Jordan Peele is like the perfect example. Like Us, like, is a great example. Like, it was just such like a good scary plot. Like,
I can't find anything wrong with that movie. When I saw it, I was like, there's nothing. I didn't have any problems with this movie.
Like, not even literally, like, not even to like switch subjects, but it's like I literally feel like Jordan Peele or like A24 is when it rolls in for a good plot. Like, I feel like everything is starting to die off. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I feel like everyone's on a high to focus if these kills are going to be good or not, and just have a weak-ass plot because they're so worried, is the gore going to be enough? Is the kills going to be enough? Like, I feel like we're just, like, forgetting about the character building and the plot and leading to it, and that's what X did. We got all of that in one film.
I agree.
So real quick, we everything that we love about X, and we're saying that we want this in every horror movie, we want this in every slasher movie. And speaking of big franchises, we almost got all of this in a big slasher franchise like 6 or 7 years ago, I want to say. The director who made The Night House, I forget his name. He was going to direct Friday the 13th. Way back, like 5-6 years ago. The plug was pulled. The script you can find online if any of you want to read it. It's one of the best unproduced horror screenplays ever written. And the idea is Dazed and Confused, but what if the second half Jason starts killing everybody? Yeah. With an all 80s soundtrack set in 1989. It is one of the best screenplays you'll ever read that never got made. It's like I read it from time to time and go, wow, I still wish this movie was happening. And I was like super excited when it was announced, and we'll never get that. And it has some of the best kills in the franchise. Will never happen. It has never happened, but all those things that we're asking for in horror movies, we almost got that in that. So that's just a little side note. But,
damn.
Yeah.
Also, like y'all are saying with the kills, when you watch like an hour and a half long movie, if you combine those kills into one, 10, 15 minutes, if it's like a lot of kills, if you just play those, probably even less. Say you do 10 minutes of kills. Okay, what about the rest?
Yep.
What about the rest?
Yeah,
I love cool kills. That was something like, I have a lot of problems with Halloween Kills. I still like it, but it did have cool kills, which I appreciate. I love seeing some practical effects, love it. But that, for me, doesn't make up for the rest. Right. Same thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It has some great kills. Some that made me go like, oh my God, that doesn't make up for the rest. And I don't think there's a problem. There's certain movies I will watch that I'm like, I know this isn't going to be great, and that's fine. But I also don't like when people sit there and say like, well, it's just a turn your brain off sort of thing. Like, that's not an excuse. People are putting a lot of money, a lot of work, time, everything into a movie, and just for you to say like, just turn your brain off, it's fine. Like,
I'd be offended.
That's not okay. Like, people put so much into it. Yeah, you can criticize it, but just to say like, well, it's not that kind of movie. There are certain movies, like I watched fucking Madman, which I did not like at all. Sorry to anyone that likes that movie. I didn't like it. It was bad for me. But like me going into this, I knew this is not going to be up to par. It's a cheesy 80s slasher. That's fine. But like now, like, I don't know. There's just something that like for me is missing in a lot of horror movies that I can watch in older ones and be like, okay. And maybe it's just people are so stuck in their ways of like movies they grew up watching, which is fine. But at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing to hold a movie to a higher standard. It's okay to want more from a movie, even if it's a fucking Netflix Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. It's okay to want more. Right. And I can't believe that movie. Oh my God. I was staying off of Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Because the way people were arguing and fighting, and it was from both sides. It wasn't even just like, well, I don't like this movie. Well, you're stupid. There's like, someone's like, I don't like this movie. And then just people are like, how could you not like this movie? I'm like, bro, calm down.
The point of
if
opinion,
someone doesn't
people...
like it, they don't like it. You know, you don't have to fight about it. It's not fucking ends all, like say all ends all, you know, it's okay.
I feel like I always read your tweets, Destiny, because whenever you say something, there's always someone in your replies on Twitter that's like, well, I didn't like it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I do like doing that.
I don't care. I don't care if you don't like it. I like it. That's fine.
Or they try to convince you. Like, I was told that I should never watch movies again because I said Jeepers Creepers 2 was better than Jeepers Creepers 3. Like, okay, you're right. I'll never watch a movie again.
Victoria, get out of here. You can't watch movies.
I'm never allowed again. They're gonna kick me out and ban
me.
There's
always that one person. I'm watching a movie, and I will say, like I don't care. It doesn't make me mad that you don't like it. That's not why I'm responding to you. I'm responding to you because I don't fucking care. I don't care what you think. Yeah. Like I did, like I posted for The Strangers Pray at Night, the 3-year anniversary, and someone was like, I like the first one, and even that movie was okay. I was just like,
okay.
I don't fucking care. First of all, I don't know you. I don't fucking care. That does nothing for me. It's just like,
was it Michael Myers fan _69? Michael Myers fan?
No, it was someone else. I ended up blocking them because the same guy who does not follow me, following like 90 something people, has 9 followers.
Me.
Victoria, I don't know why you're doing this to me.
It's my account.
But literally every tweet I would put out, this guy had something to say. I was like, are you fucking stalking me now? You don't even follow me. Are you just keeping tabs on what I post?
To his remark, it's always some fucking dude with the Michael Myers profile.
That's what I noticed. I told Victoria that I'm like, all these guys that comment, like, if a girl posts anything, it's always a dude. It's like, with the Michael Myers logo or something. I don't know. I always find that funny. I'm like, what is this guy?
It's like the 2022 How to Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
It's anyone with
Michael
a
Myers fan
picture.
69.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly talk about the rest of the kills. We got a few to get through.
But also, more of the story is that hold horror movies to a higher standard. Okay?
Yes, hold horror to a higher standard. We should do that. And sorry, I'm just now seeing Brett's comment. That moment. But okay, Jackson gets killed off. He gets shot by Howard in that great scene where they find the buggy, and it's crazy. And then we get the fantastic, amazing alligator scene. This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Brittany Snow is, again, the whole cast is great, but she's a revelation. She's great comedic relief, but she's always great in everything. She gets a chance to do something totally different out of her wheelhouse because she would be the final girl if this is like, I don't know, like a Sony Pictures production or Blumhouse or some shit. But it's different. This is a Ty West horror movie. It's the most unexpected thing, and she dies in the most unexpected way. She gets called a whore, a bitch, gets bitch slapped, and then eaten by an alligator. And it's awesome.
Vibes.
Yeah.
Like while we were talking, I just noticed this looking back, but at the beginning of the movie, when you look at the trailer from like the strip club, it's actually foreshadowing because it's a poster or like the mural of her, basically like her panties are getting tugged by an alligator.
Oh shit.
Oh, wow.
So it's it's kind of like,
see that.
You know, you have to think back to the beginning, but it's like a long shot of like the big mural and it's her basically. So it's like, it's kind of like a good little Easter egg thrown in there. It's kind of ironic that that's how she dies at the hand of an alligator.
And they also have a van that says plowing service.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
Another little porno thing. Yeah, it's great.
Her death scene was great. Like I was saying, you know, she tries to help this lady and she's like, don't worry, like my grandma gets confused too. Like, it's okay, you're okay. And then when she like slaps her, she's just like immediately done. And like I feel like I relate to that so much because I'll be nice, but as soon as someone says one thing to me, I'm like, this is at work especially. I'm nice taking an order. Someone gets this like rude with me, I'm like, well, fuck you then.
Yeah,
and so
for real.
she immediately was just like, what the fuck? Like, what is your fucking problem? And that alligator, because again, I'm sorry. I remember seeing in a trailer, I could have fucking swore there was a fucking alligator because it's literally like a split second. You see like a tail. And I was just like, an alligator? What's happening? Why is there an alligator in here? But when we see it, and I love that shot, or like when Mia is swimming and she's like going and you see that alligator, because that's like what you're saying. We know she's in trouble. She has no fucking idea. And that was a great scene. Super tense. But I was happy to see the alligators come back because they were mentioned a couple times. And right before like Jackson gets shot, I think he mentions like alligators and stuff, like be careful. So whenever it happens, I was just like, damn, was not expecting it. My boyfriend plays this one game where you have to kill the alligators. It's like a shark game. You have to kill the alligators. They try to attack you. They're vicious. But to see them, I think it's called like a death roll or something when they're spinning. Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, that's the thing.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
And I think what was surprising is that you thought it was going to be Kid Cudi's character because he's in the swamp. He's like, oh, I got to go get this. And they're like, okay, so you figure, you know, you're like, all right, Kid Cudi's going to get the gator here in this scene. And it wasn't. They switched it up on you, and it was Brittany Snow who got it.
You know, I got like major Betty White and like Placid vibes from that scene. I was like, she's feeding these fucking hippies to the alligators.
Dispose of the evidence. Alligators.
When that alligator yeeted her ass in the fucking pond, I was like I was scared. I was like, damn, like that was like a whole like almost Jaws moment. Took out.
Yeah. We get it's a slasher movie, and it kind of becomes a creature feature for a second. Yeah. Crawl. I'm a huge fan of Crawl. I fucking love that movie. But that's one of my favorite aspects is that Maxine is so oblivious to everything going on. She pretty much wakes up from almost being raped, and then shit's already hitting the fan from there. She's like, enters mid-scene of chaos already taking place. And it's that Laurie Strode moment of Laurie walking to the house across the street, the Wallace house, and everything's already happening at this point. She has no idea what's happening, but something is happening. And that's what we have here. And we get another great moment where I thought the whole time, Jenna Ortega, I'm like, there's no way they'll kill her off. The way they were setting her up, I'm like, there's no way. And how big she is right now. And then she's immediately killed off.
I knew that was coming, though.
Great kill.
I knew
she
it was
gonna run
coming
into them around
because
the corner every time.
Yeah, like we've seen this in horror movies when you have that character that is so frantic and it's constant, and you're like, oh no! Like as soon as she was like screaming, freaking the fuck out, I was like, she's about to die.
You're the reason
fucking
die.
I'm like, okay, boom.
I did love the mini redemption though between her character and Mia Goth's character. Once she started getting interested in the sex part, I'm like, hey, I want y'all to be besties now. Thank you.
Thank you. And I like that too, that they have some sort of beef. Well, not like beef, but Mia Goth can sense like she's not cool with this, and like whenever she's just sitting there and she's like, what are you looking at? I was just like, oh God, I'm nervous. I don't like confrontation. I was just like, oh shit, it's happening. But that scene, and she's trying to help her and she won't shut the fuck up and she's freaking out. I was like, girl, you're about to die. And then fucking part of her face blown off, which I like that we got to see a close-up of what it looked like, because you don't see what happens. You see her run out, boom, falls down. I was just like, damn, that's how they did her. But when you got to see it and she like spits that blood from her face, I was like,
and kills the old guy.
Kills the old guy. His heart is done.
He's already ramped up.
Well, see, like I said, I always get a lot of shit because my opinions are sometimes pretty strong. So like, there's a movie called Terrifier, right? And I shit on this movie because he busts out a gun to kill one of the characters in that movie, and I shit on that part only because it's like, it's unexpected. Throughout the entire movie, he never has a gun and whatever. Anyways, in this movie, this is how you do a gun in a slasher movie. You're not going to say, like, you institute a gun from the beginning. From the beginning, the dude comes up to the guy, to the old man, and the old man comes with a gun pointed out. You already know the gun is in play. Throughout the whole movie, gun is in play. And so when I shitted on Terrifier was because of that. There was no gun ever shown. All of a sudden, he killed somebody with a gun when he was about to lose. But anyways, that's how you institute a gun in a slasher movie, in my opinion, is right from the beginning. Just show it. All right, there's going to be a gun scene somewhere. Let's get it done. Right.
I've got my own gripes with Terrifier, but I like how, like, from the beginning, he was like, oh, it's not loaded. And then Wayne goes, yeah, mine too. Like, Mia Goth doesn't hear that, but we know what's going to happen when she's holding up the gun.
I said that too.
Like, yeah, you're like, that gun's not loaded the whole time. And you're like, this bitch is going to get fucked up because the gun isn't loaded.
This whole movie is knowing things that the characters don't, it feels like.
And that's like an old Hitchcock tool. He would do that. We know something the character doesn't know. They don't know they're in danger, but we know it the entire runtime. And it's like a tea kettle, something like it's slowly hissing and it keeps rising. And that's the ending of this movie. And that's what Ty West is the master of. He showed that in House of the Devil. House of the Devil, really, it's one of my favorite horror films ever. But for anybody that isn't into a slow burn, it'll test your patience until the very last moment. And that's where you have this huge payoff. And this movie has some of the biggest payoffs in slasher in recent memory, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think I lost my train of thought, but we were at the gun moment, right? When Howard, Right. So there's a great moment in here that I love where we're foreshadowing this preacher on the television screen in the background, and we get this pretty big character revelation that Maxine is the daughter of the preacher, which I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. That was like, and then, I guess not. They probably won't go any more into it because as I'm sure everyone knows now, there is a prequel that's already filmed about Pearl.
Right.
So I kind of like that. It's just like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like why she's like that.
Right.
She's taking her dad's own advice. I don't want to live that life. This is who I am. I'm going to be more free.
Yeah.
And that's really all you needed to know. Like it covered it in that one little part, I feel like.
Absolutely.
It makes
also, what I wanted to add quickly was I like how we said, they don't know they're in danger, but I also like that, like, they don't know they're in danger, but they also don't know anyone else is dead. Like, like Brittany Snow is probably like, what the hell? Doesn't know her friends are dead.
No idea.
Yeah.
No
I don't know.
idea.
Something about that creeps me out.
Mm-hmm.
Mia, you had a thought, I think.
Sorry.
Yeah, I lost it.
Sorry.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
gone.
It's okay.
Left the.
God damn it,
It'll come back
Victoria.
to me.
No, I fuck everything up.
So yeah, the ending of this movie is pretty wild. We have this great standoff moment between Maxine and Pearl. And so it's pretty much just Mia Goth versus Mia Goth. It's really, really cool. It's her in old lady makeup versus her younger self. And you have this standoff moment with the two guns. So we know one of them isn't loaded.
Mm-hmm.
But then Pearl, the blast of the shotgun, which this completely like blew my mind, but it's also like, yeah, that makes sense. She's like super fucking old.
It's foreshadowed a little bit.
The blowback completely sends her across the room. It's hilarious. And she breaks her hip.
They foreshadowed that. They said, I don't want her to break her hip. The husband was all
Right.
concerned.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remembered what I was saying now.
I'll go right ahead.
It almost made like when she goes over, like Mia Goth is in some type of way special to her.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of made me think that maybe she knew that was the preacher's daughter because they watched it religiously. That was the only thing that was on in their home.
That's what I was thinking.
And she kept saying like, no, this girl is special. Like she's different and like something's like special about her. So it made me almost think like maybe in some way they know, or she or Pearl knows.
Didn't she say at one point too, I know who you are? I feel like I remember that.
I feel like she did. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I just got the vibe that she may have known the whole time. Like like the realization came to her when she saw her in the bar and that like, oh, that's like the preacher's daughter that I watch on TV or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally, I'm on the same boat with you. I like connected the dots that way as well. I felt the exact same way.
Also, it's just funny because the whole time she wants to be special. She knows she's special. And for it to work in the way of a slasher, like, she is special. She's our final girl. Like, that's pretty cool. The whole time, like, that's all she wants. And she gets that, but not the way she wanted it. This old woman that's a murderer finds her to be special. Like, she has, like you said, she has the X factor, but not the way she probably anticipated, probably didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, I feel like these sort of movies, anytime I will do anything, I'm like, is this going to kill me in the end? If I go fucking staying like anywhere, am I going to die because of this? Which I really like about this movie. You can't fucking stay anywhere. You're probably going to get killed. But the fact that that's all she wanted was to be special, and for her to get that, but in a different sort of way, I also really like that. Which I kind of saw that like coming when she's saying that. I was like, oh, I bet she's going to be the one that, you know, ends out on top because she has the X factor.
I feel that way anytime I go up to like Wisconsin or Minnesota that I'm going to get killed because I'm like the only Mexican in those towns.
Oh my God.
That's, yeah.
So then we have pretty much the movie book ends with the police department investigating the house, the murders, and the sheriff saying what's on the camera is one fucked up horror picture. Cue the title, and then we get our first look at Pearl, which is the prequel to X that Ty West was shooting simultaneously at the same time, which I was always confused by with the production of this movie, and because I knew he was doing some movie, but the plot details weren't out yet. I knew who was in it, but I also read that they were building sets to look like 1918, I believe. Wow. So now the trailer for Pearl makes all the sense in the world. We see Pearl dancing, somebody set on fire, and the alligator. So I have no idea what the fuck this movie's about, but it's gonna be pretty cool, and unique, no matter what it is. So, which
we missed the Pearl trailer because we thought the movie was over, and we just got up and
they turned the lights on.
Yeah. It wasn't a Marvel movie.
I know. I kind of sat there for like a minute or two because everyone else wasn't leaving, and I was just like, "What's going on here?" But then everyone started getting up, and I was like, I'm going to go 2. And after having a shitty experience at the theater and then getting home and realizing that there was like that credit, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is my final straw. I was so mad.
This is
I
my
was like,
villain
I
origin
missed
story.
it. I fucking missed it. I watched a shitty version someone recorded at the theater on their phone from the side. And someone said, here it is. I was like, I don't care what quality it is. I'm fucking seeing this. I have to watch it. And I'm excited because it also doesn't, from what we saw, which isn't very much, it's so short, but it doesn't feel like the same movie we just watched, you know? It's going to revolve around the same things, but it doesn't feel like the way this one is. Like, I wonder, is it even going, it's probably not going to be a slasher. Maybe some people are going to die, obviously, but like, I don't think it's going to be how it is. A group of people come picked off one by one. I think it's going to be a lot different, which I'm excited about, to see that in the same world. And also, I had seen people talk about Mia Goth playing another character, but I didn't want to read into it at all because as soon as I saw it, I was like, I don't want to know. I'd rather just watch the movie and be surprised.
Right.
And during the movie, there's some lighting that I was just like, that has to be Mia Goth.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, no, that's a different woman, whatever. But the more I looked at her, I was like, no, that has to be her because they have the same eyebrow sort of arch thing. I was like, that has to be her. To find out that is so cool. And I'm happy we're going to see her again, even though she's playing Pearl, but to see her play that role, but, you know, like as herself, her younger self. I'm so excited. Whatever they're doing, I'm there. First night. I don't care.
Which I'm sort of glad that they did that because I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're gonna go.
Is that Mia Goth is currently pregnant right now. So like they would have had to wait.
How old is she? Do we know?
She's like 28, 29.
Or 28,
Damn.
29.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
Looks young.
With Shia's baby.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Which I thought, again, sidetrack.
Where have I been?
I thought like she sued him for like sexual harassment.
I don't know if
he knows somebody else.
Someone
years
else.
ago.
I think somebody else.
Hi, Joey. Mia's doggy.
So, okay.
Oh, I was wondering what you guys were looking at.
Hi, puppy. What I was going to say, too, before we move on is, like, I feel like that's also going to, obviously, she's saying, you know, we were talking about she's special. I mean, it's obviously also because she reminds her of herself and what she wanted to be. So I feel like maybe in the next one, we'll see her be repressed in the ways that she wanted to be. Like, not even just sexually free, just like free to speak her mind in general.
Yeah.
And now she's jealous that people get to be that way in this one, but I hope we get to see a little bit of that in Pearl.
Right.
Does anybody have like theories of why they maybe used Mia Goth as Pearl?
Yeah, I wonder.
Like, do you think there's like a connection there, or like, because I was a little confused. I was watching the Pearl trailer. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how are they just gonna take Mia Goth as the final girl and make her like the younger version? I was like a little caught off guard by that.
Right.
Maybe it'll tie in more in Pearl why she.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. That's a good point. Yeah, why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's a Ty West
Brett
thing.
just said, how did Shia propose to Mia Goth? Shia just yelled, do it.
Do it.
Yeah, because it's totally within. I don't really have any theories other than I think we're just going to have to see the movie because I feel like there's going to be a huge. Once we see the movie, I feel like we're going to know, okay, this is why obviously she was cast in that duality of the role. But I think it's everything that you guys said, that Pearl maybe saw a little bit of Maxine within herself. So that's going to be interesting to see all these things that women had to go through with the backdrop of the South in 1918. So I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, agreed. I'm excited.
Yeah, because it's not that the Bible Belt, you know, now it's the Bible Belt. So I mean, Pearl could be a preacher's daughter as well.
That's what I was thinking.
Right. That's a good one. I didn't think about that either. Look at you.
That is, that is a good point because she got to see what she could have been if she would have just left the church, maybe, you know.
Right.
Yep.
Cool. Any final thoughts?
I'm always for leaving the church.
Yeah, give me something crazy. Give me something totally not I don't know, formal. I don't know. Just being around that so much here and like a lot, like my dad's side of the family, super religious, super Christian. It's like that typical, you go on Pinterest, yeah, that's my dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
That's how they are. And every time I go there, I'm just like, hey.
That's how my sisters
And I'll wear stuff
and my mother are.
purposely to like I wore my Gore Whore t-shirt to Thanksgiving because I was just like, what's gonna happen?
What are you gonna do?
My sister called me yesterday. She's like, hey, she's like, do you want to go see this preacher? I'm buying tickets. I'm like, no. He's like, he's very famous on YouTube. I was like, no. She's like, does Jess want to go? I was like, no. And to this day, I swear I had a Rob Zombie t-shirt. I swear my mom threw it out when I was a kid. And she's like, and I always ask her about it. To this day, I still ask her about it. And she's like, I never threw out anything. I never knew you had one. I was like, I know you had. You know.
You know.
My mom did the same thing when I was a kid. I was watching Midnight Mass last week. And I was watching the Mass and I was like, holy shit, this is so accurate because I come from like a Catholic family. I'm like, dude, this is giving me like flashbacks. This is crazy accurate of like everything. Every word of the Mass was exactly how I remember it.
I actually had a really hard time watching that because of my background.
So did we, yeah.
I couldn't get through it at all. And I hate that because I want to, but unfortunately
it's definitely a lot. Like I don't even blame you. Like I don't even particularly come from any sort of Catholic or Christian background, but even I was like, God, like I know people who do, and like it's hard to watch, even as someone who's not. Like I can't even imagine. So like, yeah, don't even like worry.
See, like I went to like a Catholic grammar school, Catholic all boy high school on the south side of Chicago, and then my parents turned Pentecostal Christians. So like I've lived every extreme version of Christianity. And so that's why I love like paranormal and possession horror, because that really hits hard with like the teachings of Catholicism. So like, but yeah, watching Black Mass or anything having to deal with like church or the devil, like that's my jam, because it's like that's me growing up.
No, I feel that on a personal level. Not to get off topic, so I actually went to Salem for my honeymoon, and they have if this is not allowed, please let me know, but we actually went to the Satanic Temple, and I'm gonna be honest, it was like the most freeing place I stepped in. Like it just felt like everything like I went through as a past was kind of like away, and it kind of was just like walking into like your own form of like freedom and rights and stuff like that, weird as it is. Obviously, so there's like there's a documentary on Hulu if anyone's interested called Hail Satan, and it's the background and the concept and everything behind it. But if you guys ever go to Salem and it's up your alley, I definitely recommend checking it out because it was quite a great experience.
I saw that when you were posting it.
Yes.
I have no crazy Christian stories. But my family had a little Christian phase where they would go to the mega churches, like the Joel Osteen ones. So those were interesting. I would go in like the kid classes. Actually, no, I do have a story. So my mom wanted to go to church. And at this point, I'm a full grown fucking adult. And I'm like, I have no interest in going. But my younger brother, who at the time was about he has to be like 4. So this was about 3 or 4 years ago. He's 7 now. She needed some help watching him. She's like, can you please come with me and watch your brother? You could just sit in the back. Like nobody's going to say anything to you. It was like a Wednesday woman's night or something. And I was like, all right, like whatever. Like, yeah, sure. I could help you with that. And I'm sitting in the back and I'm watching him. I have like the tablet for him to watch things on and stuff. And this guy comes up to me and it's the most passive aggressive thing I ever hear. And I think he's like so used to saying this. He goes, what's up, man? How's it going? Are you a high school dropout? And I'm like, no. And he's like, do you want to come to our youth ministry? I was like, no. That was the last time I was ever in church.
You haven't lived until you see people being touched by like the Holy Spirit and like jumping up and down, speaking in tongues, and then like they fall all of a sudden, and then like people putting hands on them, and they're like, and then they will all of a sudden awake, and they're like crying and like speaking some like I don't know what it is, gibberish.
As a kid, when my parents would go to that stuff, my dad would tell me to leave the room because I was too busy laughing the whole time. Whenever it was something like that, or I don't know if you guys ever seen it. It's like praise dancing, where like the girls like doing this sort of thing. I don't know. It's like ballerina stuff, but they're like praising God, but it's like completely silent, and I'm just like giggling. I don't know why. Like it's just a natural reaction between that and like the dude going around touching people, and just I don't know. I started to lose it like a child. So I have
and
to
Winter,
leave
I know you didn't watch it, but the finale of Midnight Mass gave me very much. I didn't even think about it because obviously I don't know too much. Like very much Christ awakening moment at the finale of
it's very like
Mass.
religious
that show is
trauma
wild.
based. Yeah.
Which reminds me, like Pearl's family might be that Pentecostal Baptist Christian the way that pastor was going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
1900s Joel Osteen. Yeah.
Can I share my last time I went
Yeah.
to church?
Oh yes, go ahead.
This was a long time ago. It was 6-7 years ago now, maybe. I was 16. I know that for sure. 6 years ago. 7. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. We went, and I will never forget this day because this is the day that I lost my virginity. And then we went to church that night. And keep in mind, I hadn't eaten that day at all. Like barely. I had some hot Cheetos. I'll remember that. And I got in there and I'm standing up and I was like, I'm about to pass out right now. I know I am. And I just like slowly like sat down and I was just like in the chair, had to go to the car. We had to, and I'm with my boyfriend and his family, my boyfriend at the time. And I was just like, huh.
It's because you
What are
sinned.
the odds? What are the odds, you know?
You
I
got the
guess
Holy
we're eating more.
Spirit.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah, the
like,
Holy Spirit.
was that because I lost my virginity or is because I haven't eaten? But I was just like, I won't forget that. That's the last day I went to church and it was, yeah. Y'all just remind me of that. Thank you.
Have you guys seen the guy on Facebook that does the exorcisms? He's like, he specializes in exorcisms. He's like a priest dude. But I swear these people are like going batshit when this guy's doing the exorcism. They're like growling. They're like trying to scratch him. People are like holding these people back from like attacking this priest.
Damn.
Priest is just going full send.
Literally dog noises, like growling and shaking their head like this. I'm like, relax.
I don't care what is in you right now. You got to calm
It's like
down.
the movie. I don't know if you guys saw it, The Cleansing Hour on.
I watched
Yeah,
that.
we did watch that.
It was about a fake preacher who does fake exorcisms, and then all of a sudden, the actual devil, like a demon, actually possesses one of the fake people,
Right.
and then he has to go face to face with a real demon.
Oh, that reminds me of, what was that movie called?
I think it's on Shudder if you guys
The
haven't
Last
seen
Exorcism.
The Last Exorcism.
Oh,
yeah.
That movie freaked me out.
I could.
Fuck.
Oh my god, Last Exorcism is one of my favorite movies. I think it's so creepy. There's a scene. This is like not even about X anymore, but there's like
Yeah,
a scene where it's in the dark and she's like on top of a dresser, like hunched over, and it's like so. Those for some reason, like those found footage. That one is so creepy. I showed it to Tony, and he had nightmares. Like that shit was scary.
It was scary.
That girl was scary.
She's
That
so
girl
scary.
was fucking scary. I was just like, oh god. Oh no.
I was like, she killed the cat with the camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
I saw a video. Mia brought up these like people that do exorcisms and stuff. This is a real video. I thought it was parody. There was a woman in a church claiming she was possessed and the demon was eating her pussy.
Ew.
I don't know if you guys have seen this video. It's on like Facebook. Gabe, have you seen? I'm pretty sure like me. I showed this. Maybe you guys in the guy chat.
You shared this in the guy chat. It's been...
This is like a few months ago, and she's like, "Oh," and she's just like screaming, "It's eating my pussy!" And she's like, "Demon, stop it, demon!" I'm like, "Is this real?" And it was real. So
that's gonna be Pearl.
that's the sequel to Pearl.
When you said that, I literally shot snot out of my nose. Oh my god. He's eating my pussy.
Yeah, like she's like, I don't even want to do this, but it's just it tempts me and it makes me want to go do whole things. And I'm just want to do whole things.
Oh my god.
That's definitely Pearl's backstory.
That's definitely her.
Okay.
See me there every night watching it over and over.
Literally. Let me hear that in the theater.
Yeah.
So I guess we could wrap it up here.
Yeah, probably.
The lights are so bright on me at this point that we've gone this long. So yeah, we all pretty much dug the movie, I guess, right? We had a pretty cool conversation. Thank you all for coming on. I'm gonna go down. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, come back anytime. We could talk anything, honestly. I'm gonna go one by one and let you guys shout out where we can find you, anything cool. I'm gonna start off with Mia. Where can we find you on social media?
My Instagram, my horror Instagram, Mia Manson 06, I think it is. Yeah.
Cool. And then you also have an Etsy as well, right?
Yeah, Halusa Arts. A lot of people don't know how the fuck to pronounce it, but it is Halusa Arts.
There we go.
Almost like hallucinate, but
sure.
like people are like they don't get it, and I'm like, I tried, but
Big brain stuff.
All right, Victoria, where can they follow you?
Mine's kind of like it was my own Instagram, but I kind of post horror stuff. It's Victoria.Rasmussen, Rasmussen, my long ass last name. Or if you want to be waxed or get a facial, my aesthetics Instagram is Magic by Victoria, but that's more business. So
Business.
All right, Destiny, where can everybody find you?
On Instagram, my name is Night of the Living Des, so you can find me there, or on Twitter @_screamslut.
All right, and then Winter?
On Twitter and Instagram, Winter_Marie with 3 E's.
Period.
Awesome. Ladies, thank you for coming on. It was a ton of fun talking this movie with you. It was like the perfect movie to have you all on for. We have a new final girl, the final girls. Gabe, you want to wrap us up? Let the people know when the next episode of Flopbuster will be, because we're still doing the episode tomorrow. So
yeah, we're doing an episode tomorrow, Flopbuster, of underrated 80s movies. We have Batteries Not Included, Weekend at Bernie's, The Burning.
Right.
Sylvester Stallone in an arm wrestling match.
Oh, it's the best movie. He's
Yes.
like sweaty the whole time, and he like works out, and he's doing it for his son, who he's never seen before. So he's a deadbeat dad, but it's about the power of being with your kids. So that'll do it. I thank everybody for checking in the chat. Thank you, Brett. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow everybody on here. They got a bunch of cool pages. And we will see you all next time, which is pretty much tomorrow night. So thank you all. If you haven't seen X and you watched this video, what are you doing? Go see it.
X gonna give it to you.
It now. X gonna give it to you.
All right, guys. You all have a good night. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.